The EA Sports Maui Invitational is part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's on ESPN tomorrow night. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. What is it, like 50 games on Feast Week on the ESPN family of channels,
yes,
networks?
It's official. Hoops have begun. There's a lot of great basketball out there. There's a lot of great basketball right here where we are right now.
What is Oregon led like 35 seconds of this game? St. Mary's from the very get-go. I think Randy Bennett has to be extremely proud of the intensity his team played with. And when they fell into an Oregon rhythm, they quickly called timeout and changed and regained the rhythm of this game. Led by the man with the ball now, number 13, Patrick Mills.
Well, they've handled those pressure situations because Oregon was knocking on the door several times. They were able to handle those circumstances.
The West Coast Conference trying to let people know that there's more than just Gonzaga in the WCC, and Oregon finding out. Tawan Porter, one of their top players, fouling out with 13 points. Bryce Taylor did not play because of a right shoulder injury. That was a setback.
This game right here was definitely going to be a test for Oregon to just kind of see where they are. I think definitely a big factor that that player right there, Bryce Taylor, the 6'4" senior, just from a leadership standpoint, not to mention that he can score in double figures at ease, but his defense, just that all-around game, and he has to sit there and just watch.
St. Mary's by 14 over number 11 Oregon. Cameron down the lane, scores and has a chance for a three-point play. 16 points for Cameron Brown. That also is a career high. He's coming off a double-double against Portland.
Well, if it hadn't been for Patrick Mills, this guy right here would probably be just standing out to us even more than he has. They have to be so happy with the fact that he's getting this experience. And even though it's tough not having Bryce Taylor out there, this guy's getting some great minutes.
Good rebound by Jovan Catron. Wraps it home. And St. Mary's nearing the 1-minute mark, leading by 10. Timeout called by Randy Bennett. Randy knows this game can be wild. He has heard stories in the past of teams who have come back from 10 down with a minute to go. And he knows how dangerous Oregon can be.
He doesn't want to take any chances. He knew he needed to just regroup right here, get him focused to what they need to do to finish this off.
And at the beginning of this game, you were talking about your star watch. Malik Hairston, who is averaging 22.5 points per game, he was held to just 12. And how about Diamond Simpson and the game he has had, not only offensively, but the rebounding, the putbacks on the offensive end.
And he did it as if we really weren't mentioning his name that often, but he's got the double-double, but it was all about the rebounds. And you're right, the putbacks, that effort on the offensive glass is what really stood out to me about his game here today.
He was a diamond in the rough,
yeah.
Eclipsed by the Patrick Mills game. Golden gets it into Patrick Mills. 1 minute to go, and a foul is called. It goes against LaKendrick Longmire, and back to the free throw line goes Mills. What a wonderful player, just 5 feet 10 inches tall, 175 pounds, just turned 19, a true freshman from Canberra, Australia, stepping to the free throw line. Mills 9 of 10 from the free throw line tonight, 33 points. A St. Mary's freshman record 34 points continues.
He just has this intensity about him where he will push it up, and until the opponent steps over and stops him, he's just going to keep going.
You can almost feel the entire Gale team relax when he has the ball.
Yeah.
They might get pressure, full court pressure, and then Mills gets the ball and they settle down. And Patrick with 35 points. That's twice his career high, which was 17 coming in. Cameron Brown floats one in, and Cameron with 18, another freshman with a quality game. Mills is fouled again.
find it hard to believe that he has only had a 17-point career high up to this point, even though this is only the 4th game for him, the way this guy's playing.
You know, there are so many great freshmen from around the nation. We talked about 2 in the Pac-10 conference, Kevin Love, and also O.J. Mayo, Jared Bayless down at Arizona. But at Indiana, they've got a superstar. They've got one at LSU as well.
This young talent. These guys have just been playing for so long, and club teams, traveling around, playing for AAU teams. And it pays off.
Right now, St. Mary's College. They call the fans behind us the Gale Force, and they are about ready to explode and race onto the floor. Cameron Brown way outside for 3, missing. And it is picked off by Longmire, who goes up and scores. But the 37-point game by Patrick Mills is the 6th most ever scored in St. Mary's history. The all-time record set by Jim Moore versus Sacramento State was 64.
What an evening. And to go up against a team like Oregon to be able to do it, because there are some excellent defensive guards on this Oregon Ducks team, and they just didn't really have an answer. They knew it would not be easy because the transition game of Patrick Mills is so effective, and they set a lot of high screens for him with the ball.
The preseason poll, Gonzaga was most people's pick to win the West Coast Conference, but St. Mary's garnered 3 big first-place votes and wound up with 59 total. That surprised me a little bit because Gonzaga has so many quality players coming back. You
know, they do, and when you look at the points right there, I mean, there are a good 4 or 5 teams that have gotten significant points, and obviously they feel this is going to be a strong conference, a very competitive one this year.
San Diego, Santa Clara right there. USF should be pretty strong. But right now, a team to be reckoned with is Randy Bennett, St. Mary's Gales. They're about ready to go 4-0 on this young season, beating Sonoma State, Drake, and Cal State Bakersfield. But tonight, taking on a power before a packed house at the McKean Pavilion. And number 13 from Canberra, Australia, completely dominating our player of the game. 37 points, a freshman record at St. Mary's. 13 of 14 from the free throw line. He did have that 1 turnover, though.
Yeah.
How dare he?
Maybe some push-ups or something extra in practice this week, I think. That was just, and he's had the ball in his hands non-stop this whole game. 1 turnover.
I thought they might be limited with athleticism taking on Oregon the way Oregon likes to spread the floor. But defensively, they stayed in front of their man consistently tonight.
That's one thing we haven't talked enough of, I don't think, is St. Mary's defense. They had a great rotation defensively. They forced a lot of those turnovers that Oregon committed. High turnovers early, but that's because the help side D came over. They drew the charges. We haven't talked nearly enough about their defense, and that's something that Randy Bennett prides himself in, that pressure. He wants constant pressure. Not necessarily full-court pressure, just bodies up on players.
And you're right, a lot of times it came from the help side.
Yeah.
On rebounds, too.
Yes.
A foul called on Churchill O'Dia. And Randy Bennett, how about the job that he has done? This is his 7th year in Moraga, excuse me. And he is just 5 wins shy of James Weaver's school record with 110. And Weaver did that from 1955 through 1962.
Just passing Ernie Kent, who was in that 2nd place spot. Well, this team can keep playing like this. I have a feeling he's not going to have a problem reaching that goal very quickly.
This team has a 10-point lead, and Todd Golden makes it 11. Just 6 points for Todd Golden, but his defense was terrific tonight. He's an outstanding 3-shooter, and as a team, they've made 25 of 33 from the free throw line, 76%. Cameron Brown taking it in and missing the shot. He will wind up at the free throw line for 2 shots with 39.2 seconds remaining. And the St. Mary's Gales holding on to a 12-point lead, 95-83. Oregon last year went 29-8. They went to the Elite Eight and really competed well against Florida, barely lost, and returned 4 starters. Their best player, certainly Aaron Brooks, was the guy who graduated. Now St. Mary's went 17-15 last year. And their main loss was Brett Collins, a starter, averaged a little over 12 points per game.
They have definitely filled the spot somewhat. They've done it with multiple players, though. When you lose a player that's averaging 12-plus points like that, sometimes it's not easy to get it done with one guy.
Parity in college basketball.
It is.
Gardner-Webb, they knock off Kentucky at Kentucky, a remarkable achievement. And St. Mary's hosting the number 11 team in the nation, the Oregon Ducks, who had hammered Pepperdine, Pacific, Western Michigan, and Portland, averaging victories by 20 points per game, come into Moraga and are down by 10. And the Gale force behind us has been standing the entire second half. And I think they're ready to surge onto the floor. They're waiting for another 38 seconds.
I think they're going to climb over the table behind us. I do think so.
Well,
they're tired of the free throws. They're ready to
just
go.
Get out of my way, Krista, because I'm going on the floor with them.
I think I'm going under the table is what I'm doing.
Golden with the free throws. St. Mary's 3 shy of 100 points against the Oregon Ducks. And here's Brown up, missing the shot, rebounding Lucas Walker. He loses it to Catron, who scores. Hughes ahead to Simpson, who slams it home. They've got 99. Brown missing. They want 100. The fans here want 100. This is one of the most impressive and certainly rewarding victories I think Randy Bennett has had.
Well, they have definitely worked hard. Randy Bennett said that they had the best summer that they've ever had. Most of the guys stayed in this area and trained. They worked out. He almost had to make them stop working out and practicing and playing so much because they were just so determined to take the success they saw last year and take it even further this year.
Patrick Mills, the player of the game, with 37 points. They're counting it down here in Moraga. And St. Mary's eating up the upset on Feast Week on ESPN. A stunned Oregon Duck team led by Ernie Kent, who coached St. Mary's to their last West Coast Conference championship in 1997, but coming in as the number 11 team in the nation, shocked by St. Mary's 99-87, led by that remarkable freshman, Patrick Mills, a St. Mary's freshman record, 37 points, 5 assists, and only 1 turnover. Oregon suffers their first loss of the year. Once again, our final score, St. Mary's 99, Oregon 87. For Krista Blanc and our entire ESPNU crew, I'm Steve Physiak. Coming up next on ESPNU, Coaches Spotlight presented by Liberty Mutual. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. The proceeding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.